Can you talk about the org structure? How designing the right org structure can lead to innovation within a company?
For us, like the nice thing is that like the GM structure is that you own both product and versus like separately, and you do own in some cases pieces of like sales and ops as well, depending on how you want to collaborate with those stakeholders. By having a startup within a startup like structure, you get a lot more autonomy over your P&L. You get a lot more control over your success and failure. And so in a lot of ways, you now can be like, oh, that product failed because this person didn't do this for me. You have all your resources, you're in control. And so I think there's a lot less potential to make excuses and a lot more of a feeling that your fate is in your hands. And that has, I think, with the right entrepreneurial type of like GMs, propels for a lot more that you can do basically with those resources as well.
Do you see it as an industry trend to design org structure like that?
GMify like everything basically. I think it's really hard. Like the question is like, I think I would argue compared to China, the US is actually not that good at building new products. Because if you look at the larger tech companies, like a lot of their products are acquired, which means there is something to be said about having a lot of bureaucracy and how it slows down product innovation, but also like maybe the organizational structure of like separating design, product, and then you have like sales, blah blah blah. Like for one, if you don't have control over your sales at a company like Google and your product is not huge, why would sales give you any resources to help you sell? Right? So like the incentives are not structurally there to help you like sell things. And so I do think like, and then versus in China, like you start off with small team, you hire in people like basically facilitate you like a startup. You can hire in people, hire in sales, all that. Given the dichotomy there, I think people are figuring out that this is like a big trend that's worth investing into, and kind of like how do you build new products? Probably building it separately in an independent thread where they have a lot of autonomy is just a lot more helpful in terms of accelerating the product versus like getting them caught up in like the processes in place.
Can you tell us a little bit more about like how you formulate when you choose to invest and unlock more headcount, or when you cut off a project, and how do you formulate those decision principles?
Yeah, I think so. We're still in the middle of like making those more solidified. I think in general, the way to think about it is like depending on the nature of the business, i.e., are you measuring it purely by revenue and gross margins, growth potential? Where do you see the long term fold? Is it more of like a spearfishing, like hunt the large whales type of idea, or is it supposed to be a smooth growth? And then the next is like for your like differentiation defensibility points, like are you a network economy, etc., like how much is this product contributing to your defensibility as a company, to your ability to also produce profitability? And then there's also like spectrum of like predictable growth, is this product contributing to that as well? So there's probably like a few things you care about as a company, and then you need to figure out how to formulate like a math equation around how do you attribute each product to those things on top of revenue, and then use that as like a metric to like stack rank, and then figure out what is the threshold at which you like it's not productive anymore to invest any more headcount. And maybe you don't spend it down. There's like three scenarios, right? You like double down, you invest a lot more, you hold it constant, or you start spending it down. And so the decision criteria for each one of them has to be somewhat separate as well.